So we're here with Andy, another guy in the hostel. How are you finding it, and
What, in the hostel right now?
yeah.
Good, yeah, like, it's really warm.
Yeah, tell me about
It's
it.
really hot, but no, yeah, to be fair, like, me and you, we're upstairs, we're in the, like the penthouse.
Exclusive.
Exclusive, but yeah, it's quiet, it's everything I like, it's quiet, it's out of the way, and there's hardly any people. And after years and years away, same as yourself, you just like a bit of peace and quiet.
Yeah, you
Get
don't
away
mind
from the
it.
noise and the bullshit, you know, I like it, can you swear?
Yeah. Just speak freely.
Yeah.
I went a bit fast there, and
Mm-hmm.
how would you describe yourself in a few sentences?
It's a tough one,
We'll
right?
do, yeah, it is.
I
We'll just
reckon-
do the get to know.
Yeah, probably, I'd say, I'm a bit of a worrier. I can be a little bit lazy. All bad things really I'm thinking of.
Yeah, try a good one.
I've got some positive ones. I think I'm loyal, and I think I've got a good mind.
Yeah.
I've got a good brain.
I've seen that.
yeah.
That's probably one of the reasons me and you conversate
Yeah,
so
definitely, yeah.
well and for so long.
Yeah.
What's one of your pet peeves? And now this can be in prison or it can be since you've been out.
Loud, stupid people.
What's it?
That's in prison and outside.
Yeah,
So people that are loud and stupid.
yeah, good
It's,
answer.
It's always irritated me, and it still does to this day. I struggle with it, to be honest, because there's a lot of them about, and you know, we're kind of used to it, aren't we? So, yeah.
How do you deal with those?
At the minute, I just try and stay away. Like, you know, I'm like literally, I don't even know who's in the building anymore. Like half of them, because I don't really sort of mix with people. I'm not really a people person, but you have to. I think you have to try and have a bit of understanding with people. Like, there was a guy who was irritating me, but then I found out he was older. The guy was only 18, and it was like, fucking hell.
Is that in here?
Yeah, you have to make allowances, and you think
Yeah.
like, wow, the guy's really young, and then you see him in a different light. Then, do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't even make allowances because you can think, no, I'm probably that stupid. I mean, being stupid is allowed when you're that age.
Yeah.
You know, that's what being that age is mostly about. It's about making tons of mistakes, figuring out, you know, getting over those mistakes. Hopefully mistakes that aren't too big, that aren't going to land you in the sort of shit that we've been in. You know, it's life, isn't it?
And I suppose our responsibility being this age is to be tolerant.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard when you're forced in this environment, and we'll get into this later.
Yeah.
Being people forced upon you in a closed
Yeah.
space, it's not nice.
It's not easy. No.
What would you describe as happiness?
Wow, happiness.
I know it's a deep one.
I remember happiness years ago. many years ago. I think peace of mind for me right now is happiness. Not being part of the, you know, like for example, taking drugs, drinking, all the stuff that's against like the rules at the minute. I think, because I'm a bit of a worrier as well. Happiness for me is peace of mind, so I don't have to worry about piss tests, I don't have to worry about breathalyzers because I'm not doing anything wrong. You know, that to me, peace of mind is happiness, and peace and quiet too.
Yeah.
Peace and quiet and those things.
Yeah. Wicked.
Because I'm a worrier, and if I worry, you know.
The mental health's not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what does that for you, as someone who's a warrior, when your mental health's poor?
Yeah.
What does that look like? What does it result in?
So bad decision making, like impulsivity, substance misuse, depression, anxiety, just a whole host of things that, and then and it's just easy. I'm the sort of guy who takes the path of least resistance as well. So well in the past I've, so that sort of doesn't make me, but that sort of makes me sort of more. It's easy for me just to go and get a bottle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than deal with the mental health problem, the depression or whatever, just fucking
Use the substance
Yeah.
for what it can be used
Yeah.
for, blocking it out.
yeah. And that's what across the board, you hear guys say that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
That's it's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, we see that. I'm sure you can speak about it easily.
Yeah.
In prison, you see that drugs are rife, and it's people's coping mechanism. It allows them to melt away the days days, the years.
I did it for years myself.
Yeah.
Did it for years, mate. Yeah, it was the fucking. It kills the pain, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It's like it's not nice, regardless of what some people say. And I think the sort of people that are at home in prison and aren't bothered by prison, I've always found them to be arseholes, to be honest. I think like the real sort of human people who you can connect with, they feel the hell of prison, like being away from the people you love, the things that make you human, you know. Yeah.
But would you agree that that's a deep topic and one we can both relate to? But I think of how we've spoke before about not being bothered about bang up.
Yeah.
Now, if someone looking in, i.e. a first-time officer, they must think, these guys actually like it in here.
Yeah.
But it's not the case.
No.
It's more, you've become that immune,
Yeah.
accustomed to it,
Yeah.
that you can't let it bother you.
Yeah, that's true. You do. That's what human beings do. They adapt and they get used to things. I mean, I think also it's fortitude. You know, I mean, I'm not a hard man, but I'm tough in some ways. You know, I'm resilient. I think anybody who's does a long time in prison and comes out without bitterness, without hatred, I think they have some kind of toughness too. Yeah.
Do you feel bitter?
No.
And I'm glad for you, man.
No.
I'm glad for you.
I'm angry at certain aspects of the system.
Such as?
Map aboard now.
Can you explain for people that don't know?
Yeah,
I'll get back onto the mapper.
Yeah.
Let's pause that there, but just for a quick brief, I should have asked this at the beginning. How long have you done and how long have you been out?
So I did, on this one, 17 years. My tariff was 10 years and I've been out for 6 months. Just come up to 6 months now. So still sort of early days. I'm still amazed walking up the road sometimes that I'm out of prison. Like, it's mad.
What's that amazement feel like? Look
I laugh. I just start laughing. Like, there's been times when it's been kind of embarrassing, and I've just like started laughing, and people are like looking, thinking that's just another crazy guy in Leicester walking around Leicester talking to himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just can't help myself. Like, I just start giggling because it's surreal.
Yeah.
All them years behind the door, all them fucking years working towards something, and it just doesn't happen. And you know, they throw obstacle after obstacle in your path, and you think, fucking, you lose family members, and you know, can you lose contact with friends, and everything just falls. Because that's what prison does. Prison doesn't just erode you; it erodes your whole life. It erodes your connections. It erodes everything. It's just as
you as a person,
yeah.
you become a version of yourself.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. You're fucking absolutely right. You become a fucking shadow, mate. That's what you do. Yeah, you do. You become. It's like Invasion of the Pod people. Yeah. And you and it's. I think that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to pull myself back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to reclaim who, you know, maybe not who I was, but I'm trying to reclaim who I am now.
Yeah. Outside of prison.
Yeah.
And knowing you're outside of prison, do you sometimes feel for some people they talk about this is still prison and they still feel like they're in prison. How's it been for you?
When they come out of prison, you mean?
Yeah.
Like they're in,
and living in this hostel,
right.
because it is hard work, AP,
yeah.
a lot of restrictions, but
yeah.
how's that been for you?
Yeah, do you know what? I think it's been, I don't want to sound like I won't be an arse or anything, but it's been pretty easy, to be fair, because it's like, there is hardships and there is things that aren't, but I mean, we're used to following rules. Like you were saying before, you kind of get used to it, don't you? Like the bang up, this, that. So, I mean, I'm used to a structured environment, and I'm used to kind of being told what to do a little bit. So, yeah, I think when you've done a long time in jail, coming to one of these places, as long as you use your head, it's not too difficult. It's not too bad. It's like remember when I first came out and they first asked to do. They don't do them anymore. I think they sort of get to know you and they realise they don't need to do it anymore. If they do need to do it, or if there's any risks or whatever. But you know the pocket searches.
Yeah.
The first time I had to do a pocket search, I really got the fucking hump. I didn't say anything.
I did myself.
Yeah.
Search.
But getting this though, don't forget, a couple, like literally a week before, I was in jail getting rubbed down every day. Do you know what I mean? Quite happily fucking showing, well, not happily, but you know, thinking of normal. And then I came out and straight away I get the fucking hump because I'm thinking, my fucking right to be human. What do you think of? And then you got to check yourself. You've got to think where you are. You know what I mean? So yeah, you've got to put things in perspective and be realistic about the situation and the time you're in and where you are. and that helps.
Do you have any worries about coming out the hostel? Like, and I'll put it to you like this: me and you were used to following orders, and because we have to.
Yeah.
I rebelled against the system hard,
Mhm.
much as yourself at certain points during the sentence. But with those L plates hanging over our neck,
Yeah.
you either bow and go with the system, or you don't get out.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
But without those restrictions that are slowly coming off for you,
Mhm.
how do you think? Do you worry about that? Is it a concern? How do you think? What do you think that will look like for you with more or less no restrictions when you come out of it?
Yeah, it is a bit worrying.
Mm.
It is a bit worrying because it's kind of like it's something I've not experienced in a long, long time, almost 2 decades. So yeah, no, it is worrying, definitely. And I was young when I came away as well, so I was in my 20s. So you see the world differently now as well. And I don't know, it's
Well, yeah, it's changed.
Yeah,
It's
it will.
2 decades.
yeah, things have changed a lot. Yeah, so I'm a little bit worried, but I'm also looking forward to it as well.
And hopeful.
Yeah, and hopeful. Yeah, I mean, 'cause, like yourself, I've got connections still with family, luckily, and with friends as well. So I mean, that helps. And
Massively.
yeah, because they're kind of sort of along for the journey. I mean, I was really happy about how happy people were to hear that I was out. You know what I mean? I was really, because like, especially I've got 2 really good mates who've been my mates sort of most of my life, and yeah, they'd been sort of trying to find out if I was out of jail because they sort of had. It was kind of strange. They sort of had a feeling that I'd be out soon. Yeah, we hadn't spoken in years. Oh, it's just weird, isn't it?
And let me pause that. To me and you, that's normal to not speak to friends for years
Mhm.
and still consider them your friend.
Yeah.
But for you, why would a lifer not continuously write to friends, phone friends? For you, why wasn't that the case?
It's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking, man. Look, you don't want to feel like you're pulling people back, like, because you're kind of stuck, and like when you've done something bad, like you've killed someone, whatever it is, that's kind of like, I don't know, it casts a long shadow. So anybody in your life that's close to you, it casts a shadow on them as well, and so you don't want that to affect their life in any way.
Mm.
And it does hurt, but you know, to lose contact with these people. But I mean, I always knew that the 2 lads who I'm talking about, that I was pretty sure that we pick up where we left off because they're just those sort of people, and that's what happened.
And that is, they say, I've heard this, the sign of a true friendship is you can not see each other for so long, and then when you do, it's literally like you took off where you left.
Yeah.
And that is a true friendship.
Yeah. Like the one, he's actually been up to visit twice now, and he's come up with his new wife, and it was like just exactly the same. He's just got greyer hair now, and so have I. You know what I mean? That's the only difference really. It's still the same. You know what I mean? That friendship's still the same, isn't it?
I'm glad for you on that note.
Yeah.
Because it is, without having support after so long, I wouldn't even like to think of it. Not having any support and you're thrust out here. Getting back to the mapper stuff, you're finding that a frustration?
Yeah.
Could you just give an overview of what Mapper is and why you're on it and yada yada?
So Mapper is, I think it stands for Multi-Agency Public Protection something.
I'll give you that because I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what the last word is, but yeah, so basically it's I think of them as like a cabal of witches that I never get to meet, that's how I always think of them, but so basically it's a group of people, so you've got like coppers, probation, and I think when you're on Mapper 2 and Mapper 3, definitely on Mapper 3, I'm on Mapper 2, but I know definitely on Mapper 3 you get the heads of the agencies on your board. I don't think Mapper 2 is quite as serious, but it's still, you know, it's still a fucking big deal, and it's still sort of, they take things very seriously. And I'm basically, if you're in an AP, and so you've got family members, but you're not going to be moving on from the AP to those addresses, nationally, the rule with the APs is that you can't have an overnight stay in a place if it isn't a move on address. Yeah. So you might, like my dad's not very well, he's quite ill, he's had a stroke, he lives in Blackpool, so basically I have to, because I can't stay there overnight, I have to leave at 6 o'clock, and this is the frustrating thing, I have to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, get there about 11, I get about 3 hours with him, and then come back, and the first time I went and I came back, I I left at 6 o'clock in the morning, came back at 20 to 11 at night, and I spent 3 hours with him, 3.5
And
hours.
that's the first time you've seen him
That's
in
the
how
first
long?
time I've seen him in. He did come to visit me in jail, so it's like the first time in 16 years, because he came the first year I was away, so the first time in 16 years, that was the conditions it was under.
And I can relate, I'm not going to put words into your mouth. My mum didn't come and see me my first sentence. She got ill gradually, she had something called Dandy Walker syndrome.
Okay.
And I remember getting out after doing the 10, going to see her, and she was that ill. Of course I recognised her, she's passed now, but she was very strong. But 10 years and 16 years not seeing someone, they change, especially when they're ill. I broke down. I had to come out the room and sobbed. And I can literally count the times I've cried in my life like that. How did you find seeing your dad after 16 years?
Do you know, it might sound strange, like, I mean, again, it was a little bit like, it wasn't like a big, you know, like you think there'd be like a big reunion and like you see it in a film, there's music.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it was just kind of like my dad, like I went in and he was like, oh, I thought you were just someone off the street. He's Scottish, my dad, he's got like a Scottish accent, so he can take the piss, and he said, what are you, just someone off the street? So we had a little bit of a joke and that, and he's not a sentimental guy, my dad, at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it had been my mum passed away in Bartry, so I've been through what you've been through there with like she got lung cancer, and luckily I was able to get out and see her like 3 days before she passed away. But then I broke down. So it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, was because she asked me to stay. Like she was like, when it was time for me to go, and I was handcuffed to the screws all the time. Obviously, it's not nice, but then when it was time for me to go, she asked me to stay. And I couldn't fucking stay. It's the biggest regret of my life. You know what I mean? It scarred me for life. It'll be with me forever. So I couldn't. And knowing that, her request being denied, it was purely down to something I had done. You know what I mean? I know the screws and all, they had the handcuffs.
Yeah, but
and
you
all,
take the blame
screws.
yourself.
I'm in that position because of something I've done.
Yeah, as a man, you take the blame.
Yeah, they've got that power over me because of me.
Yeah, but where many people don't see it like that, they're like, oh, it's the criminal justice system's fault.
Yeah. We give them that power. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's mitigation, you know. People, that's why we've got courts and judges, I suppose. There is mitigation, there's reasons and stuff, but ultimately, it's what's in it.
Yeah. I think we'll pause it there, and then we'll get back to your journey through prison, specifically talking about Franklin, if that's cool.
Yeah, Sam, no worries.